Right, so it's time for the news review on the AM show.
Yes,
and
it is.
we're going to get into the newspapers shortly. I'm going to start with the Daily Graphic.
Oh, God. Okay, Israel. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. So, the front page of the Daily Graphic. Audit Service saves 387 million cedis. That's the Vice President saying that. So, corruption prevention measures implemented by the Internal Audit Agency in 2020 saved the country 387 million cedis. The measures included tackling weak control systems and injecting discipline in the management of public funds. So, well, congratulations to the Audit Service for saving $387 million. But could we have saved 1 billion cedis? Maybe, if we're working a lot harder. So I'm sure they can do more. Let's go to page 5. Al-Islam al-Gaddafi to run for president. So the late President Gaddafi, his son, wants to run for president. Yeah, in Libya. 5 more anti-coup
It's a family
protesters.
distance.
5 more anti-coup protesters killed in Sudan. And then let's go to the page 9. Betrayal of people. Planet World reacts to COP26 climate pact. So finally, they reached a deal. The climate conference that happened in Glasgow, Scotland. They reached some deal, but there are many people who feel that it's a watered-down version of the real deal that should have been had.
I think the question is whether, even though it may be a watered-down version, is it a sustainable, more doable version? Because, you know, not every country or not every organization is like Ghana, where we have these, incredibly unrealistic goals which sound so good, and then we don't actually achieve them. So I'm all for, sustainable, reachable goals. Yeah.
All right, great. So then UNESCO has impacted Ghana's development. That's President Akufo-Addo saying that. And green Ghana trees doing well. That's the ministry saying that. So, yes, I'm interested in this story. I've been, every now and then I'll jab the ministry a bit. When President Akufo-Addo was at COP26 and he talked about the fact that we had grown so many trees and that we're going to grow some more. I was saying, okay, so how well are the trees that we do?
Yeah, how are they doing?
So it turns out about 99% of the trees planted in forest zones during the maiden Green Ghana project on June 11 this year are surviving, which is good.
Okay. What's about the urban areas?
I'll come to that. According to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, this initial assessment of the performance of the trees in the forest zones has shown that almost all the trees were doing well. It has subsequently rolled out an initiative to take stock of the over 76 million trees were planted on the Green Ghana Day. So they're coming up with an initiative, Visit Your Tree, so that people will go and check on their trees.
Yeah, visit your tree.
So yes, so the ones in the forest areas are doing well, but well, we're yet to find out about the trees
that
were planted elsewhere. And then on page 19, mode of rejoining party clear. That's the NDC saying that. The daughter of the President Jerry John Rawlings, she appealed on Friday that the party consider bringing in Nana Konadu, the former First Lady. So he says, she said this, so she was saying, let me get to exactly, okay. So she says, on this particular occasion, let me say the thing that nobody wants to say. Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings is an integral part of this party. Let us do what we have to do to bring her back. In every family, there is conflict. But in every family, there are elders who will be part of the mediation of the conflict. We're calling on our elders. We don't know what tomorrow holds. But if we want true victory, a convincing win, so that we can rescue the people of Ghana from where we are today. Let us do what we have to do, the MP said. So there's been some people who have spoken to the Daily Graphic, not on record, but they're indicating that, well, there are ways to do that. And so we expect them. So it says, multiple sources within the party who did not want to be quoted said, while the appeal was welcome, the procedures needed to be followed. They were, however, emphatic that the leadership would also do some consultations, including engaging the Council of Elders on the way forward. there are constitutional hurdles that need to be cleared. We'll engage and see the way forward. One of the leaders told the Daily Graphic. So, yeah, I mean, you can imagine if Nana Konadu Ajumarolin is back in the NDC.
Yeah.
It will be interesting. It will
Very
give them a lot more, a few more people are going to follow, and you get the sense of a united party. It should do well. So, drowning tragedy, there's this tragedy that happened. So, the headmaster is going to be in court today. The headmaster of the St. Charles Luanga Junior High School in Tabova in the northern region. He has been arrested.
Oh, this is the northern region, okay.
Yeah, he's been arrested in connection with the drowning of 9 students of the school, and he will be arraigned in Tamale today on a charge of manslaughter. It was indicated that apparently he has sent the kids to his farm to help on his farm. Okay, moving on. Minister calls for harmonization of efforts among ECOWAS. That's the Minister of Health and the 22nd Ordinary Session of the ECOWAS Assembly of Health Ministers in Abuja, Nigeria. And global shortage of fertilizer, PFJ subsidy to suffer cutback. Which is a problem, actually.
Yeah, it is.
So since Ghana relies on imports, it will mean that the quantity for fertilizer subsidy under PFJ will have to reduce, and farmers will have to rely on the open market for their fertilizer supplies instead, which would make things quite difficult for a lot of farmers who this PFJ initiative was supposed to target or benefit from. Experts meet to tackle meningitis in Africa. South Brim Rural Bank posts 189,000 cedis, 189,104 cedis profit. Child gender-friendly court inaugurated at Doma. Let's get to the other stories in the Daily Graphic. Netherlands embassy supports sustainable cocoa production. And in business, 2022 budget must be pro-business. That's just some Ankara saying that. And program to enhance capacity of journalists launched.
Yeah, I was just reading about that.
All right. And Mahama voted citizens donate to tidal wave victims, which is quite commendable.
Yeah.
That we have the former president also donating to help the people. Great work. And we must commend them, the former president, for doing that. There are those two who have been criticizing the vice president and the president and saying that they are yet to even go to their place to go and visit, see the people and empathize with them. BEC takes off today. 571,894 candidates to participate. And court to rule on.
Do you remember when you wrote the BEC?
I never wrote the BEC.
Oh boy.
Mine was common entrance.
Yeah. All right, Grandpa.
Grandma.
I wrote the BEC.
Yeah, but you still.
No,
Grandma.
I'm not. It was not common entrance. It's a world of difference. So yeah.
No.
Common entrance squad. But let's take a minute and wish everybody who is writing BC all the best this morning. We pray that you have retentive memory and that you would be able to write and do well so that you can continue your education. So all the best from all of us here.
Yes. Wish you all the best.
I remember the nerves and all of that morning. Yeah, because I was in Morningstar. We were writing at Aquinas. So it was just, walking down, but we were so nervous. Because, they really, drum it into your head that this is the deciding, this is your life, you have to do well if you're going to be able to move on in your education. I had chosen Wesley Girls as my first choice. Yeah. And I was like, okay, very, very well. So.
Well, I also remember, when I had to do the common entrance. It was in 86, I believe.
I was 3 years old. Yeah. I think we should move on.
Dr. Baumia urges tolerance among Ghanaians. Dr. Bawumia has encouraged Ghanaians to make tolerance their watchword as he addressed a gathering of Muslims in Accra.
I find that so funny.
That's a ceremony to mark the...
Can I tell you why I find that funny? Can you read the headline for me?
Dr. Bawumia urges tolerance among Ghanaians.
Dr. Bawumia urges tolerance amongst Ghanaians. That's in the Daily Graphic. The front page of the Daily Guide, blame your sixth form economics teacher, Bawumia to Mahama. If this is the kind of tolerance that he's talking about, that one day all of us can do.
Okay, at this point, I guess I'm just going to leave that to you so that you take it up. But I'll end with by saying, on the back page of the Daily Graphic, Black Stars qualify for playoff in the 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifier. Yeah. Now, there are those who are saying that the penalty that was awarded the Black Stars wasn't a penalty.
Okay.
The Black Stars shouldn't have been awarded that penalty. But I'm also reading that the South African Football Association is going to petition CAF and FIFA to investigate the referees, the match officials. They feel that they,
fixed it.
They fixed the match.
I see. That's interesting. Well, we'll see how that goes. Now, I'm going to go into the Daily Guide, but there's a saying that's dear here and sana dear fata, right? You know that saying?
I know where you're heading.
I'm just asking if you know the saying. We do what is right before we do what is nice.
You want to say that crowds of folks...
So I'm going to go into the Daily Guide, but I'm going to do the back page of the Ghanaian Times first. Kotoko retain perfect start. Kotoko retain perfect starts. Directly underneath that headline, Hearts still winless after 3 games.
Okay, so you know the saying to from Frontier da.
Do you know this saying from Dr. Bawumia?
That's
be tolerant of other people's views. Yeah, exactly. We will not be afraid to speak truth to power, whether the frontal form is playing or not. On the front page of the Daily Guide this morning, again, blame your sixth form economics teacher, Bawumia to Mahama.
Oh,
now,
but why?
Bawumia is saying that if Mahama does not understand the current economy and everything that's going on, he should blame his sixth form teacher. He's also saying we should be tolerant, so I'm not too sure how that goes. But I think that we've gotten used to the banter between the two of them.
Yeah.
And so, Zongo girl tops in medicine.
No, but I must say that, when the former president spoke at Kempinski the other day, he asked some very, very valid questions. Which
I don't think anybody doubts President Mahama's comprehension of the economy. I think this is just a thing that they do.
Yeah.
I guess, just...
But he raised some issues that would expect that the vice president would hold one of those sessions.
And answer the town hall. No. He's jabbing people. You know that Bawumia, dear. Chief jabster. Okay, let's do some international stories. 5 deaths reported in fresh Sudan coup protest. Gaddafi's son Saif runs for president. In Ecuador, scores of prisoners die as rival gangs clash. COP26 world leaders failed to honor the climate pledge. Even if leaders live up to the pledges they made in Glasgow, the temperature will rise by over 2 degrees Celsius. So that's very, very worrying. NLA go after banker to banker. Ghana gets early warning response center. Child-friendly, okay. Israel has brought a lot of the stories already. Some entertainment stories. Gospel musicians have always been united. That's according to Brother Sami. Peace Hyde wins African Growth Story Award. She won this award for excellence in financial journalism held at a socially distanced gala event on October 28th. In Melrose Arch, Johannesburg. Okay. Annie Idibia apologizes to Two-Face and family. It's always interesting when couples or people in a relationship are having issues, the way it can get really bad in terms of, the things that they say to each other. And then when the storms kind of calm down, and then you have to go back and apologize because you've said things that, or you can't take them back.
Yeah.
So, let's
That's why you should be mindful when you're
angry or when you're hurt.
Of the things you say, because a lot of them, in fact, everything you say you can't take back.
Yeah, actually you can't. Okay. Oforiatta presents 2022 budget on Wednesday. Oh gosh, that's something to look forward to, I guess. A tool for demands tight border security. GIS sounds recruitment fraud alert. Okay, just going to read my horoscope for a minute. 1 second. I don't know why you're always so amused when I do that. Okay, Kakum National Park targets 10,000 visitors in December. Have you been to Kakum National Park?
Yep.
Oh, okay, that's nice. But at Amankwa, grateful to fans. No, I haven't.
Why?
Stoneboy. I don't know, but I'm not a canopy walk person. I'm afraid of heights.
You would overcome it.
I won't. I got into the London Eye and I screamed until it came down. Like, seriously, I'm never doing any, and I'm so terrified of heights. And I have allergies, so the plants and stuff. Stoneboy tops Apple Music platform. Oh, on the back page, Hearts draw again. Hearts is becoming like Arsenal.
No.
Yeah.
No. You can't say that.
I just did.
Okay, but it's not true.
Really?
Yeah.
I said becoming. It's a process.
Becoming,
because you lose, draw, then it becomes a thing.
Stars hasn't lost.
They drew.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It's actually like a perfect start, really.
In a competition, to draw is a perfect start. You haven't won either. Like I said, I think they're becoming like Arsenal. Qatar set to rent 4K noisy fans behind hose. Ronaldo pitch invader kid escapes fine. And Belgium, France pick World Cup tickets. Okay?
Ronaldo is not going to
the World Cup. Yeah, I know. I saw some meme about it. So.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to get into...
Okay, so Daily Statesman, NLA clamps down on banker-to-banker operations. NDP, that's a party that Nana Konadu belongs to. They're saying that she won't return to NDC.
Yeah,
let's eschew what is morally evil.
Who's that?
Edges.
Oh, I love it.
Akufo-Addo applauds 63 years of Ghana-UNESCO cooperation and 250 journalists to undergo sponsored training annually. Okay, and then let's go to the Finder quickly. So, a number of stories have been repeated. Adding value to cocoa locally a priority with focus on improving consumption. That's the Chief of Staff saying that. All right. So that'll be it for the Finder.
So let me do the Business and Financial Times. Okay. So no room for slippage in implementing fiscal consolidation program. I love reading things in the economy because it makes me sound so smart, even though like 3/4 of the time I don't really understand what they're saying. But anyways,
you're smart.
But I've never done anything finance. I've always done science.
Okay.
So I would be a fish trying to climb a tree. Restoring investor confidence critical to the next budget, analysts say, as concerns linger over appetite for debt and effects on equity. So let's get into it. SMEs want government to renew focus on sector in the 2022 budget. Bank of Ghana dividend and non-payment directive. You see what I was saying? Yeah, no. Okay. 5 ways tax risk is rising and how the C-suite should respond. Obstacles can be a blessing in disguise. A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. That's according to Winston Churchill, who used to be the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom a very, very long time ago. All right, digitalization and the battle against crime. Digitalization has been trending since last week, since the Vice President spoke about it and all the beautiful plans that we have. I'm not too sure, again, how sustainable some of them are, even though it would be fantastic if we were able to do them. Okay, taking banking to the next level. That's also on digitization. Actually, that's 3 pages of that. So Vodafone is doing some work in Ghana. Would be great if they did some work on making data a little less expensive, but okay. The resistible rise of the US-China conflict. Farmers are hopeful of new technology for cultivating legumes. Now, this is a feature. Most young Africans have a positive outlook. Okay, so there was some research that was done. Okay, so how many participants said being African was positive? North Africa, Egypt and Morocco, West Africa, Ghana, Ivory Coast and Nigeria. Okay, Ghana, I can't see the figure for Ghana, but right next to Ghana on the left, which I suspect is Ivory Coast or Nigeria, not sure. This 94% of the Africans said, the youth that were asked said being African was positive. That's very, very interesting. I wonder what the Ghanaians said, because when we had that conversation on, the African dream or Charlie, everybody was like, nah, I'm out.
Everybody wanted to check out.
So I don't know how positive it is to be African. I think that's about it.
Okay.
A lot of it is just reports and stuff.
So I was hoping that we're going to get a story on the price of Yokegari going up, but it's not in any of the papers.
Yokegari has gone up.
Yeah, the price of.
So
there's actually a report that we have. If we can pull it up, it's from Kumasi. A beautiful report.
Okay.
That talks about how they are no longer selling. People typically go and say, "I want to buy beans 1 cedi." You say now the Davi says no more beans 1 cedi.
I think in Accra it's been 3 cedis minimum for a while.
Well, and I'm sure it's going to go up.
We'd love to know. I mean, from those of you who are...
Bring up the report. So I posted I posted a story on my Facebook page, and people are devastated.
The Facebook page is very interesting. People are posting different things.
Yeah, people are devastated.
By?
The fact that, because
when you are broke, Charlie, Yokegari will fail.
And in the story itself, the guy, maybe let's watch the report.
Okay.
Let's watch the report.
My name is God Bless Nyama.
22-year-old Godbless Nyama loves gari and beans. That is his go-to meal every day before the day ends. A day without eating this food means he has to spend more.
And beans is one of my favorite foods. With 4 cedis, I'll get satisfied and it can keep me for the whole day.
His daily budget has been affected due to the price increase of his favorite meal. As a student, the meal sustains him through the day at a minimal cost, but the situation is different now.
With 4 cedis, I used to get satisfied. It could sustain me till the rest of the day. But now it's either I go for a second round or I increase the amount that I'm going to buy.
Efia Mansa carefully pounds this quantity of beans in a mortar. This activity is to easily separate chaff from the beans properly before she cooks it. She then pours the beans on a perforated wooden tray, rubs her hands on the beans to get rid of the chaffs. This is meant for her gobe food joint at Eija in Kumasi. Though a sack of beans is expensive, Mansa complains the sack is full of chaffs.
You can see that the beans is full of chaffs. Our customers get angry when we refuse to sell the beans at 1 cedi.
Just like other gobe sellers, she has increased the price of her beans to stay in business.
Although we have increased the beans to 1 cedi 50 pesos, I'm unable to make enough profits.
Beans in retail are often sold in locally measured cups, container bowls, and sometimes bags for wholesale. A cup of beans in the Kumasi Central Market was sold at 2 cedis 50 pesos between January and September, but it has suddenly shot up to 5 Ghana cedis per cup.
Because each time we went to buy, they increase the price of the beans. Yeah, they complain. Some even when they come, they refuse to buy because of the price.
A bag of imported beans from neighboring French-speaking countries sold between 300 cedis and 400 cedis at the beginning of the year is now sold at 600 Ghana cedis. Alhaji Baba is an importer of the staple food. He attributes the increase to the safer and high cost of fertilizer prices.
Beans no ni bebere free France country ena eba. France country a free bano. Sefa na ya de kofa. Ebi fi Burkina, ebi fi Niger. Enti sefa no akosoro sama. Yakofa.
We import most of the beans from French countries, but the safer keeps increasing. Now most of the importers are unable to buy the beans.
price no wasoro ya ankasa bebere kura ntimi fa ne manamba ya ho kire ya papa.
Meanwhile, Baba's customer, Comfort, says she is unable to buy beans in large quantities due to the high price coupled with increase in fuel prices.
First, kura ukita 20 million atimi fanema. Nanso afi we die. No kure ni ukita 20 million wato beans aye bag mienu.
I can only afford to buy 2 bags of beans with an amount of 2,000 Ghana cedis.
Well, it is evident that until the Ghana cedi stops depreciating and fuel prices are reduced, food prices will still keep going high. Anita Sewa Ajoga's report read to you.
Well, it's a beautiful report by Anita.
Yeah.
But then if you missed the memo, so now you know. if it's now gone to 1 cedi 50 pesos in Kumasi, you can imagine what it would be like.
Well, why don't you actually, I think that when we come back from our sports conversation, before we jump into the NSMQ1, maybe we could talk to our friends on the streets and find out how much you're buying your yolks for this
Gari is the mainstay for many people.
It's the mainstay for everybody when you are broke, because if you add plenty Gari to the beans, it's the whole day. It's like your stomach is just,
If you add plenty Gari, that would be constipation.
Well, it's better constipation than hunger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
it. All right. So we'll have that conversation later on. So, when you're going to work, do us a favor. Pop by your Gari and ask them what the minimum amount of beans
and you can also tell us where you get your Gari.
Your Gari.
I know where I get mine.
Yeah, of course you do. If you didn't know, you wouldn't be able to get it. Where did you get it from?
There's a place behind the Echo Bank in Osu.
Oh, okay.
They've been there for a long time.
They've
been there for like 30 years.
Oh, wow.
I used to buy Yoke Gari from them when I lived in Osu.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you still, you used to get, and you like the oil shishi and the pepper. There's, Zomia shishi. I don't get the pepper though.
All right, you're watching the AM show. We're going to be taking a break. We're done with the news. Oh, we haven't gone to my Joy Online. Let's quickly do my Joy Online before we hand over to Muftau. So,
government's over-expenditure in 2020 has taken a toll on the economy. That's according to economics lecturer. A bill to jail witch hunters. Something radical has to be done. That's Professor John Azuma. If you missed news file on Saturday, I'm a victim of voodoo practice. That's Xavier Sosu. It's unfair to say government has not shown concern for victims of Keta tidal waves. That's the Volta regional minister. NADMO denies presenting only 7 mattresses to tidal waves victims. Africa Education Watch commends the GES Ghana Police for swift action against St. Charles Liwanga RC JHS headmaster. Stop prosecution of Opunia Nagongo. NDC tells Attorney General. Bill to jail witch hunters. We're going after how people act out belief in witchcraft. And President Akufo-Addo applauds 63 years of Ghana's cooperation with UNESCO. Okay, much more on My Joy Online. If you'd like some more stories. We're going to take a break now. When we come back, Muftau will be joining us, and we're going to have an extended version of the sports as we discuss everything Black Stars. Stay tuned in. Don't go.